Batman and Robin #1, written by Peter J. Tomasi, art by Patrick Gleason. If you're not familiar with Tomasi and Gleason, they have done a lot of stuff post New 52 that I really like, so this was a very fun read for me. For everyone unfamiliar, just going into this, Batman had a son. His name is Damian Wayne. He was trained by assassins. He then found out Batman was his dad and became the new Robin. And then Batman died and, well, actually went back in time. But anyway, he died as far as anyone knew. And Dick Grayson, the first Robin, became the new Batman. And his Robin was Damian. And Damian kind of had to get over all the little, homicidal tendencies that come along with being trained by assassins. So that was where most of his character development came from in terms of not being terrible. And then this book starts and oh boy, he's just terrible again. He's just awful. He's the worst. So getting into it, we open in Russia. There's some criminal running away from a giant scary looking Batman. It's Batman of Russia. He doesn't get a name, but this is because when Batman came back from the dead, he started up a team, Batman of Many Nations, I think it was, and it just had a bunch of Batman all across the globe, and they were funded by Bruce Wayne. Anyway, this is the one from Russia, and he says, oh, I'm an ally of the Bat, and I've come for you. And then a gun shoots him in the head. I'm not talking about a person holding a gun. I'm talking about a gun that Batman is holding. It's a floating gun. It just is there, shooting not Batman, the criminal in the head. But then it turns and starts shooting Batman, and then breaks Batman's leg and his arm and smashes open his mask. And then you see that it's not a floating gun, it's an invisible person. An invisible person says that his name is Nobody, and so is this Batman. Cut to Gotham City with the real Batman. He's brooding in his manner, and he talks to the bust of his father, saying that it's time for a change. He goes to wake up Damian, saying that it's time to go on patrol, but they got to make a stop first. And this entire time, everything that Bruce says, Damian is just a sarcastic little brat. Every single thing. He's like 10, so, it's fair. But, I'll get to some of the specifics of stuff later. But anyway, he tells him, tonight's the night that my parents died, all those years ago. I want you to come with. I want you to understand, these were your grandparents. I want you to know what the deal is. But I'm sick of celebrating their death when I should be I should be celebrating their life. I'm sick of celebrating their death. So from now on, we're going to be celebrating their wedding instead of their death. And this whole time, Damien's like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. None of this matters. This is all stupid and sentimental, quote, in big bold letters here, sentimental nonsense. But Batman's trying to explain to him, stop being so terrible all the time. And then they get an alert from Alfred saying that something's going down at the Gotham University. We cut to Gotham University, and I guess, Gotham University has a nuclear reactor section because they're just draining all the nuclear rods of their irradiated fuel. And it's just some random guys, as far as I can tell. It's not like anybody associated with anybody. But Batman and Robin bust in, start beating up the guys. Two of the guys start making their way towards an exit. One of the guys, Batman's taken out. The people who made it to the exit start hopping onto... I'm pretty sure it's the ride that Batman and Robin took in here. It looks similar, but it might be something else. I'm not sure. Point being is that Robin starts to follow them. Batman specifically tells him, don't follow them, but he's like, I'm following them. And then he lands on top of the thing, and Batman tells him, don't land on top of the thing. And he lands on top of the thing. Then he tells them he wants to take them out before they get away. And he knocks the ship off course, which in itself isn't terrible. The terrible thing is that their backpacks were full of highly irradiated fuel, and when they started crashing, it kind of, murdered them all. Meanwhile, this whole time, Batman, he was dealing with the guy, and when the other people escaped, the fuel, the pool that the fuel rods were kept in, got breached, so they were about to go into meltdown. So Batman got some blueprints for the university, found out very luckily that the swimming pool was just above them, so he blew a hole in the roof. All the swimming pool water came down and saved the day. Cut to Commissioner Gordon and the rest of the police are there like, wow, that sure was lucky. Who do you think did this, Gordon? He's like, I don't know, detective. So anyway, they examine the wreckage of all the murdered bodies, and Batman's like, what did you... We have a no-kill rule, dude. And he's like, I didn't kill him. I knocked him off course. The fuel killed him. He's like, that's... Yeah, you're so terrible. And he tells him basically he can't trust him to be his partner because, you know, he's his son, not his partner right now. And he's just... It kind of sounds like he's benching him, but he doesn't officially say that. But Damien's just upset because, like, Dick trusted him. So why can't his own dad? And that's kind of where we leave off. There's one epilogue page of the Batman from Moscow, beaten and bloodied, tied over a literal pool of acid. And nobody, the guy, is slowly lowering him in and says that this new global circus act of his has to end. It's time to pay Bruce Wayne a visit. So nobody's coming to Gotham. And again, it's common knowledge that Bruce Wayne is funding these Batmen. That is common knowledge in the universe, assumedly. Who knows what got changed in the reboot. So it's not that he knows Bruce Wayne is Batman. It's that he knows Bruce Wayne knows Batman. So overall, great issue. Art, fantastic. I never have a problem with Gleason's art. They go really heavy on the inks, but that really just works for Batman in general. The whole sequence when they don't actually go to Crime Alley. They go to the sewer underneath Crime Alley to mourn his parents' death. And there's this beautiful shot of his mother's pearls coming down through the sewer grate. And Batman says, I can still see my mother's pearls rolling into the sewer. Fantastic panel. Really is great. And there's tons of those throughout here. But again, the whole time, Damien's just awful. Like, every single thing here. Like, that's why from here on out I'll be honoring their wedding anniversary and not their final night on the planet. And then Damien's response is, dead is dead. I'm glad you're putting this sentimental nonsense behind you. How about we get back to work and find some evil to punish? It's like, dude, just, like, stop. He's awful. But I can tell that's going to be part of his character arc. So, hey, set him up as terribly as you want, as long as he grows in some regard. I do like one line here they have is Batman folds a little paper boat to mourn his parents out of the playbill for what was playing that night in the theater of Zorro. And Damien says, you can't just build a boat and hope darkness magically sails away in it. And Batman responds, why not? It's my boat. Good line. Good sequence. I really like this issue overall. Sets up the villain quite nicely. Just like 3 pages in the front, 1 page in the back. But overall was more setting up Batman and Robin, which it should be in an issue number 1. So overall, art, great. Writing, fantastic. I'm going to give this an 8.5. It's very good. If you haven't read this yet, I think I read the first arc, but it was so long ago, I can't really remember how it goes. But I don't remember hating it, so probably check it out.